Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to continue making beautiful pieces with the wonderful moulds included in the December 2025 Resin Moulds box kit. In my first video, I unboxed the kit and used solidcrete to make these pretty wing trinket dishes, a pair of stunning leaf trays, and this super cute scalloped edge pot. I also made a trio of snow white Christmas gnomes, which you can keep an eye out for in the video. So here are all of the moulds that I'm planning on making today, and I've got different pigments and embellishments that I'm going to add to it, and I'm going to work out how much I need of each to do all of the individual moulds. So I've got the measurements that have been provided, and because they are in mils, I don't need to do anything to convert them. And so all I've done is gone through and worked out the total, and then I'm going to break it up into sections. So if I've got one pigment I'm going to use in more than one mould, I'm going to draw a chart. I'll stop talking about it and I'll show you. So this is often how I do my planning. I think about the moulds, which are down on the left, and then across the top I've got, for example, gold flake. I've only got one mould that needs gold flake, and then I've got the different mica powders all listed, and I put down how many mils of each I need. Now these are some of the wonderful big measuring cups from Solid Solutions, and I'm loving using these. They're perfect for when you want a nice big batch of resin. I know that preparation is going to be the key for having a great pour. So what I'm doing is on each of the paper cups, I'm writing on the outside what I need. I am then going to pour in that amount of resin, and then I'm going to add whatever it is. So for example, the first one is the gold flake, and then if it's a mica, I do the mica. So all in all, we are going to have quite a few jars on the go, but that's okay because it means that I've got everything measured out correctly and I can make multiple pieces at once. So I'm just using these amazing stirring sticks from Solid Solutions to finish stirring up this resin. And for this I'm using River Art Resin Deep Pour, which is a beautiful crystal clear resin, but it's brilliant in its working time. You have so much time to work with this as it's a 24-hour cure. So I'm just going to continue making up all of the little cups of everything I need and lining them up on the desk in front of me. And that means that when I'm ready to start pouring, I've got everything there ready to go. I am going to be using more traditional Christmas colours today, and I'm going to be highlighting them with either gold or silver. So the first one is the gold flakes. Now these are also from Solid Solutions and they are so attractively priced. It is definitely worth you checking out. Now I've made a very chunky mixture, and then with the paddle pop stick I'm just going through trying to break it up into smaller sections. The next cup is for red, bright red. This is a beautiful pigment paste from Solid Solutions, and I want a very solid opaque colour, so I'm very happy with that. Now the next one is red glitter, and that's going to obviously add a nice extra bright touch to the red. Now we've got some green glitter. Next we've got our green fine glitter. So the first glitter is a sort of a chunky mix, and then we've got fine. Then we've got the beautiful evergreen mica powder from Solid Solutions, a silver holographic glitter, and then we've got silver foil flakes, so the same as the gold, and I'm just going to break those pieces up and then use the paddle pop stick to get them into smaller pieces all together. And the final piece of this puzzle is a white mica powder, and I was choosing from Glacier on the left and Bright Luster Satin on the right, and of course I chose the Bright Luster Satin. So now it's time to mix all of these thoroughly so that they are ready to pour, and then we will bring back the chart and I will go through and show you how I put it all together. I've chosen to do the little wings trinket dish and the 3-part, or I'm not sure, I think I've called it a 3-part ornament together because they both are using exactly the same materials and exactly the same ratio. So they're 1/3 each. The silver foil, silver glitter, and white mica. Now I have added into all of the glitter mixes a teeny little amount of Elmer's glue to help suspend. Now, can you see what I'm doing here? Oh. Okay, I am filling the middle section on the right, but I don't need to because that isn't part of this mould at all. Looking back now, I'm just shaking my head wondering what I was thinking. So if you do have this mould or you plan on purchasing this mould, please don't do what I did. You just need to do the outer rim, which is the ornament, and then that inner oval. You don't need to do the weird shape that quite obviously is now not part of the mould. Sorry. Now this is the 3rd time I have done this wings trinket dish. I've done it twice before, once in a beautiful purple eco casting and once in a pink marbled eco casting, and you can see those in part 1 of this series, which I'll link in the description box below. The next mould I'm working on is the Christmas tree, and I'm using this chunky chameleon style green holographic glitter along with green mica powder, which is the evergreen from Solid Solutions, and a fine green glitter. Now I'm going to work on the Christmas bauble trinket dish. For this I've got half and half. I've got half the red pigment paste from Solid Solutions and the other half is the gold flake in clear resin, the gold flake again from Solid Solutions, and I'm just going to blend those two together and pour them in a little bit at a time each. So when I say blend, it's more layering and just hoping that that gold will pick up and provide some really pretty accents. I didn't want to do too much with this one because I can see that the outside of the mold is very detailed and I don't want to ruin my chances of getting that detail showing through. Okay, now we've got the Santa, I was going to say Santa planter because it sort of is, isn't it? The Santa holder, maybe we'll say. Now this one, I've got the red pigment paste, then I've got red glitter, I've got gold foil, and I've got silver foil. So this is equal parts with 4 different mixtures, and it's quite a large mold, so I'm just layering those in and filling this up, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a matte mold, and I don't know, I'm looking at it, I think it's a 3D printed mold, and I'm not sure I'm going to love it when it's demolded because I often find that 3D printed molds have all those sort of weird marks in them. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't have a lot of material left over, but I do make a little heart with the chameleon glitter and a couple of tiny little ammonites with the same. Okay, demolding time. So this is around about 24 hours later. And whilst these ammonites are absolutely nothing to do with Christmas, they are gorgeous. I'm just loving them. They look so beautiful. This mould I purchased from Temu, and if you want to see that video, I'll link that below as well. And the heart, this chameleon glitter is just gorgeous. So very pretty. All right, let's have a look at our tree. So quite a bit of detail in this, and it's multi-layered. I did consider colouring it first, but when you look closely at the mould, it's not really designed for that. The areas where you'd like to colour are not enclosed, so you would risk whatever you're using just blending into the rest of it. I'm really happy with this though. It is so pretty, so much detail, and yeah, looks gorgeous. Next mould to have a look at is our little wings trinket dish, and I'm excited to see what this looks like in epoxy resin, because as I mentioned, I've seen it now in eco casting powder and it's beautiful. The colours I've chosen have made it look just so special, and really no bubbles, nothing. Gorgeous. Okay, this is when I was feeling very embarrassed by the whole pouring the wrong section, but there you go. So, taking out all of the pieces, and the reindeer look gorgeous and the trees are pretty, and so I'm examining it all thinking, oh, which piece goes where, and then I wonder where that big piece goes in a minute. And yeah, of course it doesn't go anywhere, does it? It's just it's amusing to watch this back now. Now these do fit beautifully. Oh, look at this. Erin thinking it to herself. Now, how does that go in there? No, you know, oh, Erin, no, it doesn't go anywhere. It goes in the recycling resin pile. Look at that. I'm trying to recreate it all. Oh dear, I must have been having a bit of a slow day there. But anyway, we'll come back to that one. Okay, this is our Santa holder. And as I'm demoulding it, I can see, yes, it is a matte mould. And unfortunately, I definitely do think it was a 3D printed mould. They just have all those sort of striations across the surface. But yeah, it's come out really well and quite cute, and could be a handy little pot to pop things in on the Christmas display or something like that. Now, this is the one I'm just so hoping I have managed to pour in a way where there are minimal bubbles or things like that, and it's perfect. It just looks so beautiful. Isn't that lid gorgeous? I'm loving that extra little design on the top, and then here's the base, and it is also just so pretty. Now, I've watched so many videos of other people making this or similar molds, and they all seem to have done the most gorgeous job of colouring the raised pieces on it, which are little snowflakes. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I loved it just as it was. I thought it was just stunningly simple and beautiful. So if you have an idea for decorations, I would just go for it. But for me, I liked it as it was. Now, here I am trying to figure out where on earth I'd gone wrong with this mould. And in fact, it is such a simple mould to put together. The two standing up pieces both fit neatly into that oval. I thought you might have to trim them down, but all I did was use the blade of my craft knife to get a little piece of foil that was in the way, and then they both slotted in beautifully. And then that oval piece in turn just slots into the circular ornament. So, oh my goodness, I made it look so much harder than it is. So please be assured, if you have this, it's super easy. It doesn't take much resin to make, and as long as you don't over pour, it's very precise. So overall, this box from Resin Molds box, the December 2025 Santa's Workshop Secrets, was wonderful. I don't believe there are any of the entire kits left. However, I will link all of the individual molds in the description box for you. I have a discount code that you are welcome to use to save you a little bit more money. And I'd love you to check out my first video if you haven't. These are the beautiful pieces I made in that, and I was so happy with them. Loved the leaf trinket tray and that gorgeous little Santa sack dish. And of course, I did say, see these beautiful white set of 3 gnomes? I did say I might give them a bit of a glow up for this video. So here they are. I also added on to them some of those beautiful little extra pieces that Ella included in the box, and I think they look quite cute. So here is the Christmas bauble trinket dish. I didn't do anything to this. It was just perfect as it was. Here is our little Santa holder, and I did give him a little bit of a glow up, but I preferred him before. My artistic skills are not top notch. This is the little tree. I gave that a little mini makeover, and our beautiful silver pieces. Well, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I so enjoy creating and sharing and knowing that I can read your lovely comments and feedback, and I appreciate you so much. See you in the next video. Bye for now.